I was scrambling to find mine. I was like, I know it's in here somewhere. Oh my gosh, I know I told her I had it today, but I found it. It's here. It's here.
No worries.
Here we are.
Well, yay! I mean, this is perfect. This is everything I want to do on a Friday is talk about cereal and art. Um, I think, let's see. I don't know. We can just get started. We'll probably be like repeating some of the same stuff, but
Yeah.
um,
Are
so
you gonna
my
eat some of the cereal with me?
I yeah, I have some ready in here. I'm probably just gonna like have it dry,
Okay,
but
that's cool.
it, only because I ran out of milk because I was testing something right before this and I was like, oh yeah, the live. So
I'm gonna eat some of this
you can be
because
the with milk cereal eater and I can be the dry cereal eater. And anyone in the comments also, I think we need to take a poll on how you eat your cereal. I don't
I was
want
gonna
anyone
ask
saying they
you
put the milk first though. That's
I
not
was gonna
allowed.
ask you something. Do you cut this open or do you tear it open? What do you do?
Um, it's a fight. Like,
It's
I
always
mean,
a
I
fight.
usually tear it open, but that's mostly because I don't want to find scissors. But the logical best way to do it is definitely with scissors.
Yeah, I'm like the scissors kind of person. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I'm
Well, you
super
have a
excited
very
to dive
Dash
in.
personality as well, so I feel like that makes sense too.
No, I don't have enough patience.
Right.
It's
Yeah, same. Um, well, I mean, for everyone tuning in, my name is Emily. I am the founder and CEO of Off Limits. We are a super defiant new cereal brand. We're not even a year old. This is our third drop with Network, and I'm so excited to be doing this. This time, this is our first like dual live, and we have Sophia Chang here, who is an incredible multimedia artist. Sophia, you've come up in pretty much every brainstorm meeting we had because you have this very cartoonified, almost like Space Jam style to the work that you do also, where you incorporate photography and like all the illustrated typography and little characters and stuff. So it was just such a natural fit for us, and we were so excited you accepted this project.
Thank you so much for
So,
having me, and I'm so
yeah.
honored to be even in consideration conversation. So I mean, it's been a long time coming, but so excited to do this with you.
Same. We've been working on this for so long. Like these projects, like so much time, effort, everything goes into the back end of it. Like I Off Limits is really meant to challenge everything that exists in the cereal space right now. I felt like we had to choose between Kellogg's or Kashi, and there was nothing in between. There was no fun cereal with like characters, with modern representation of characters and their personalities that also has like really good, thoughtful ingredients. So we have this like band of really somewhat emotionally unstable but pretty realistic emotion cycles for creative people, characters, and then equally fun flavors. But to layer on top of that, because we support school art programs with a lot of our projects and boxes, we are creating this kind of, Wheaties has athletes, but we have artists. So we're creating this series. Sophia is the second artist we're working with on this series, where we just kind of like let them pick a character and go crazy with it. So, Sophia, if you want to tell everyone a little bit more about yourself, and then we can kind of get into some of the crazy details on this box because it's so fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I first got approached with this opportunity, I thought it was awesome. The main thing that stuck out to me was the fact that there were never any female mascots on cereal boxes. And I just never really thought about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't name a single one. There's Frankenberry, there's Cookie Crisp guys, obviously the famous Wheaties. And so I definitely resonated with that. And then when Emily had shared with me the two personalities involved, there's Dash, and essentially she can't stop moving. She's crazy. She's very like high anxiety, running around. And then the other personality is Zombie, who's like the orange box behind me. And
Right.
he's like super chill. His flavor is vanilla and pandan, which by the way, pandan is so hot, right? It's like such a popular flavor right now. I immediately obviously resonated with Dash. She's basically me in so many ways. Um, And when we first started on the project, I was like, okay, Dash is super cool. I want to go with Dash. I love the flavor as well. I also make my own cold brew at home. And this is cold brew flavored.
Amazing.
And so I was like, okay, can you tell me a little bit more about her? What's her personality like? What's her day to day like? And there was this whole like schedule breakdown, which is very neurotic. And I was like, oh, it's totally me. So we created this box, wanted to make it fun, lively, obviously illustrated. But the back of the box has this really cool art piece. And it's kind of like this schedule. And I'm very, very scheduled. I'm also obsessed with sleep. I'm one of those like sleep behavior people. I just bought an Aura ring as well, and just been like tracking my sleep. I sleep 10 to 12 hours a day. If I don't get my sleep, I cannot operate and I cannot function. But if I can get my 10 to 12 hours, I hit the ground running. And I actually kind of drew this my schedule out. I on a good day, I can sleep in until 9 a.m. And I make sure I get my 90-minute sleep cycle in. I hit the ground running, but I have this terrible habit of waking up and drinking water and drinking coffee. And being someone who loves their job and drawing and just loving life, I also have a tendency to like skip over breakfast and skip over lunch and end up like running just off of coffee, and I'll just be like shaking and twitching and I have like no idea why, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't eaten anything yet. So it's this endless battle I have in my life and my career to try to strike that balance. So I wanted to kind of capture a little bit of that energy as well in the typography, in the illustration, kind of just tell the story of like what my mornings are like. I'm definitely hyper. I get cheerful. I get restless. And one of my favorite quotes and descriptions of Dash was highly caffeinated and highly functional. And that's definitely me every morning. And yeah, that's how I kind of came up with the basis of what you see on the back of the box. And there were all these fun other points about Dash as a character, as a personality, such as that's all actually all spelled out on the side of the box, from your alarm chirps before the birds do. God, that would be my worst nightmare. That's like when you party. That's when you party until 4 a.m. and you get home and like the sun's already up and you're going to bed and you hear the birds. It's like, oh no.
I definitely get up early, or I aspire to. I feel like if I could be the like 5:45 a.m. person, that's like
Wow.
always my goal. But it usually ends up being like 6:30, and then I feel really good about myself, and usually it's like 7:15 kind of thing. But I don't know
Yeah.
why it throws off my whole day when I don't get up early, even though I end up tired. I don't know.
It's funny you say that because that's what got me into sleep science. And it helped me understand that I need to stop fighting my body and actually work with it. You can actually learn about your chronotypes. It's all hormonal, it's hereditary. When I actually got to learn about how my sleep cycle actually works, I stopped fighting it and I ended up being more productive, more energetic. And yes, I do sleep until 8 to 9 a.m. a day. But I'll send you some stuff. You'll
I
get
am
into
so
it.
curious. Yeah, I need to
Um,
start hacking something because I love staying up late and I love getting up early, and it's just not realistic. Like the afternoon, absolutely hate it. Don't want to be a part of it. Would rather be sleeping,
yeah.
but it that does not work for normal life. So
Yeah, well, that's the next character that you guys got to make, right? It's like someone who
totally.
kind of fits right in the middle.
Well, we have
Um,
two new characters coming out soon, which are also very opposing personalities to the ones that we have now. So it'll be fun.
I
Hopefully,
can't
the
wait to
four
meet them.
characters will capture every personality.
Beautiful. Well, great. Well, that's kind of how
Yeah.
this came about.
And so to talk just a little bit about the bundle. So Sophia's kind of been showing off her box, which is so cool. I mean, literally every single part of this is designed, even the top part, even when you open the top of the box, it's designed. So you're really getting a one of a kind piece with this. And then you are also getting our original box. This is the original box, just so you can see kind of the comparison. Equally as wild, we worked with Shepard Fairey and his Studio Number One team on the cereal mascots. And then Pentagram did the packaging design and branding. So, like, there's just like tons of super fun details all over the place. Like, we really wanted to reimagine what a new cereal brand would look like for 2021, I guess. And okay, so you're getting both of these boxes. And then you're getting this really cute tote bag that is not, I don't even think it's available on our site actually. And a little Dash keychain. She's so cute.
I still have my Tommy bag.
Yeah. So our first drop on network was with Tom Studio, a UK based streetwear brand. She like upcycles these basketball bags and like turns them into these like beautiful pieces of art, and we were so lucky to work with her on that. So that was our first drop. It sold out in 5 minutes. It was crazy. And the first art box that we did was this one with Greg Mike. I don't know if you saw this, Sophia, but
I fully saw it, and I got so self-conscious of my box. Trust me.
No, they are. It's like honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better way to launch both characters because Greg picked Zombie. Zombies are more kind of like chill skater type character, like always wants to just like relax and be mellow. And then Dash is always kind of fighting for the hustle. But with that comes like anxiety and some burnout. They kind of like interact with each other. I feel like one is the high and one is the low of like a lot of creative people that I know. So it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the best part about the boxes and the characters. Like you see a bit of yourself in each of them. And definitely usually you resonate with one more than the other, good or bad.
Well, the point is really to like humanize these characters. Like Tony the Tiger was created in the 1950s, and there really has like I cannot think of one new cereal mascot that has come out. And going back to the female cereal mascot, Dash is the first ever like female cereal mascot in American cereal history, which there are some licensed characters, things like that, but no women have been represented in the cereal space from a big brand. So we're really excited and proud to take that on. And I think she does it justice. So the whole bundle is $50. That's 2 boxes of cereal, the tote bag, and the keychain. This is only available on network. Like we only do our drops with them. So you guys have to scoop this up before it gets sold out because it absolutely will. It's just too cool. Like, I don't know, who does like custom art cereal boxes? I love them so much and I can't wait to continue this series. So also, if anyone has any artist suggestions or people who just like shoot us a DM, our handle is Eat Off Limits. You can also write Sophia, send her your suggestions too, but we definitely want to continue doing this series. Let's see. Do you want to talk a little bit about your background? I mean, you have such, like, you started Common Ace, which is this sneaker platform for women, and I am obsessed with it. I feel like Dash probably got her sneakers from Common Ace.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then you just have worked with every major incredible brand out there for your art. So I'm sure everyone would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I can definitely share a little bit about myself. It's so funny. I'm like trying not to choke on the cereal and just like cough it all over my like desk.
Oh, let me eat some.
If it does happen, now we know where it's coming from. Yeah, I can share a little bit about my background for those of you who don't know. My name's Sophia Chang, obviously. Originally from Queens, New York. Grew up in this very metropolitan city environment, and just grew up with a very vibrant environment. Like, you know, if you're on a subway cart, there's people falling asleep, fighting, scrolling on their phone. You're reading what they're reading from the cover of their book. To the advertisements, to the sounds, to the smells as well. And I just grew up in this hyper stimulated environment and always had a love for drawing, illustration, and the arts. Obviously, well, I guess I keep going back to the subway example of like I used to take the 7 train, so there's a lot of artwork on the 7 train, a lot of graffiti, lots of colors, especially when you're driving by 5 points. Miss 5 points. But yeah, kind of grew up in that environment. And quite honestly, just a kid from Queens, got into Parsons, studied illustration, and that really opened up the entire world and possibility of learning a craft, turning your hobby into a job, learning skills to support that hobby and turn it into an actual profession and career. And quite honestly, when I graduated, I was out there chasing the same check as anyone who graduated before me, with me. And it was just a question of hustle, right? Like, what are you going to do to set yourself in a better position than anyone else to be able to get certain jobs? How can people find your work? One thing I always say is that it's not other people's job to know that I exist. It's my job to make sure they know that I exist. But even going back to like Dash's personality, your side hustle has a side hustle. Like that for sure was something that I totally
Right.
resonated with as well. And just the overall messaging, but just working hard. I mean, just an example of hustle. One of the first things I used to do when I was fresh out of college was I went on Craigslist every single day out of after I graduated and sent out like 100 emails. I would go to the art media job section because I don't know job boards. What was there
Right.
like monster.com?
Right.
I would send out 100 emails a day that was literally like, "Hi, my name is Sophia Chang. I'm an illustration designer. Here's my portfolio. I would love to do something." And my hope and prayer every night was that out of the 100 emails, that one or two people would get back to me. And if not, I'd try again the next day. And slowly but surely picked up work here and there, making sure that I do a good job. And I'm always learning, always trying to evolve, always trying to study. When I started Common Ace, like I don't know that much about leadership, delegation, working with a team. So I got a ton of books. Wasn't always the best at reading books because I was too busy drawing in elementary school. So I ended up taking a reading class, and it helped me dig through all the books that I always buy off of Amazon. So it's just like this endless, I guess, this endless pursuit of human evolution and testing where your bandwidth stands and really reaching your full potential and never settling. Very similar to Dash.
It's very similar to Dash, and it's interesting. Like Dash is like that half of my personality too. I feel like I built Dash and Zombie out of my own personality, almost like the things you deal with when you're sad and you're like trying to create work, and you're like, why is any of this stuff working? And you're just trying to figure it out, and it just like puts you in this spiral. Like that's kind of Zombie sometimes, but then you kind of become at peace with it. And then Dash is when you have that like spark. It's the like crazy passion that happens, and you can send 100 emails a day, and like you just have
Yeah.
this incredible drive. Like it was really similar starting the brand. I went to school for fashion design, so similar with like design, um and got more into the food space, but like never really left the art side of things. Like I ended up writing a cookbook about breakfast. I hosted this global event series where I got people together for breakfast. So starting off Limits was extremely on brand for me, but I wanted to create something that also incorporated art, and this is literally my dream to build. But like raising money, and I had never done that before. I didn't go to